Antigua and Barbuda's main opposition launches its election campaign with big promises for government workers and other residents. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Monday, February 5th. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. The United Progressive Party, the UPP, is promising to reduce the cost of living in Antigua and Barbuda and put more money in the pockets of public servants if it wins the March 21st polls. Party leader Harold Lovell offered assurances of a better life under UPP rule as the party launched its election campaign on Sunday. He said the message of the campaign was delivering hope, happiness, opportunity, prosperity and empowerment because of the hopelessness that has spread across the nation in the past 3 years of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party's rule. And he outlined the measures to deliver on that. They include expanding the current basket of goods under price control, a 50% cut in water rates, along with reduced electricity and internet costs. Lovell said the UPP also has plans to reduce energy costs.
We're going to reduce all energy prices within 2 weeks. That's a straight promise. Gasoline. We're going to reduce gasoline week after next. Gasoline is going to be reduced to $10 a gallon. And diesel will be reduced to $9.90 a gallon. There will be a 25% reduction in the APUA fuel variation charge. That will reduce the cost of your electricity. And we will permanently peg energy prices in Antigua, whether it be at the pump or the fuel variation charge. We're going to peg those to the international price of oil.
There were also big promises for public servants.
Immediately upon getting into office, we will conclude negotiations for public service salary increases. Within 90 days, that must be settled. And the back pay that has been in and out, we give it a commitment. Give us till December. I can't tell you by May or June. Give us till December, and we're going to clear the back pay.
Lovell also told supporters that the UPP has a 10-point national security plan to deal with the crime situation. Meantime, over in Grenada, the two main political parties staged massive rallies on Sunday, promising voters a better Grenada as the March 13th general election draws near. Both the ruling New National Party, the NNP, of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, and the main opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC, headed by Nazim Burke, expressed confidence of victory at the polls. Mitchell told supporters the party was looking for a repeat 15-0 results next week as they would be voting to protect the future of the island.
1 week and 2 days from now, you will be voting to protect the future of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. 1 week, 2 days from now, you will be voting for the continued job creation in this country. You would also be voting for further development of the agricultural sector. You would also be voting for further development of education and training in our country. You'd also be voting, as Brother Nicholas Steele showed you tonight, for better health care and continued development of the healthcare system in this country. Not talk, action, sisters and brothers.
But Burke, who is leading the opposition into the general election for the first time, told supporters at his party's rally that if elected to office, the NDC would implement various policies such as reduction of property tax by 25%, a rollback of the petroleum tax, and they will make controversial one-off payments to public workers.
I come to you tonight, sisters and brothers, seeking your trust, not artificial trust, not empty trust that is rooted in some kind of false and artificial adulation. I come to you seeking your real and genuine trust in the confidence that if you give us the opportunity, we will make Grenada a better place for all of our citizens. We have a plan for our country. We've put together a team of people to make a difference. What we need now is your trust and your confidence. We ask you, sisters and brothers, to give us your support in the upcoming election. I can assure you, we will not disappoint you. We are committed and determined to make our country a better place for all of our citizens, regardless of the political party that you support.
Over in Jamaica, counting is underway in the by-election held in St. Andrew Northwest on Monday. It's expected that later in the night, an announcement will be made on whether the ruling Jamaica Labour Party's Dr. Nigel Clark or the main opposition People's National Party's Keisha Haley will be the new MP. The by-election was called after the retirement of long-standing JLP MP Derek Smith. Still in Jamaica, public school teachers have rejected government's latest wage offer of a 16% increase over a 4-year contract period. Members of the Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA, overwhelmingly voted against the offer at a special meeting of the weekend. We get the details in this report from TVJ's Anthony Lugg.
The Jamaica Teachers Association delegates who came from across the country were in no joking mode on Saturday as they discussed the government's wage offer. The conference got underway sometime after 10 and lasted about 3 hours. After the deliberations, 352 delegates voted on the wage offer.
313 delegates voted to reject the offer.
The delegates argued that the government's offer is an insult. Chief among the issues, the government's 4-year bargaining period. So now that the delegates have spoken, the JTA is expected to write to the government. The teachers are demanding a speedy response.
And we are not going to wait very long because we are saying it's time for us to let the people of Jamaica understand and send from us. We're starting from the east to the west, and we are serious about this. The lawyers did it the other day, and we want them to understand that we are serious. It is action time, and I say, with the support of all of us, we must shut it down.
We caught up with JTA President Georgia Wall Richards after the conference.
The teachers have spoken. They've spoken loud and clear. We serve the teachers of Jamaica. We operate based on their mandate, and so we have no choice but to move forward on the mandate of the teachers of Jamaica.
What's next if the teachers don't get a favorable response from the government?
Well, you would have seen, as I said to you, that JTA is a democratic organization. We do not take decisions in isolation. And so what is going to be next? The teachers are going to come together again, and the teachers will speak.
Disaster management agencies from around the region are assuring residents that information circulating on social media on Monday about a pending tsunami in the Caribbean due to a 7.9 magnitude earthquake in Costa Rica is a false alert. And they're reminding the public that only information disseminated through official email and by relevant personnel is authentic. Director of the Barbados Meteorological Services, Sonia Nurse, had issued a high surf advisory and a small craft warning for Barbados earlier in the day, but she stressed this did not signify a tsunami threat. And the National Disaster Management Agency in Grenada also said it was monitoring a mid-latitude cyclone circulation and an associated cold front located in the northern Atlantic Ocean that was producing some northerly swells and waves expected to be as high as 10 feet. Similar warnings were also sent out in Antigua and Barbuda. The FAO points to a hunger-obesity paradox in the Caribbean. We'll explain after the break. Stay with us.
Come and experience fun, meet amazing people, and enjoy fantastic food at the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 5 days of festivities from June 27th to July 1st of 2018, with main stage performances from the 28th to the 30th. Here's the first wave of confirmed acts. The legendary Patti LaBelle, Queen of Dancehall, Spice, Miss Lauryn Hill. Many more acts to be announced. Book now and save the date. For more information, log on to StKittsMusicFestival.net. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Well, right about this time of year, millions of tax-paying Americans are visiting their tax preparation professionals, or they're taking on the task themselves. It's tax season, and what better time to take a look at some of the ways our money is spent by the government. Now, while the media worries about the cost of a border wall, they fail to report on a few items that are definitely more peculiar. According to Oklahoma Senator James Langford, the National Endowment for the Arts spent $30,000 on a production of Doggy Hamlet.
The Food and Agricultural Organization, the FAO, has described the Caribbean's health situation as a paradox. The description comes from the Assistant Director General of the FAO Caribbean and Latin American Office, Julio Berdegu. He was addressing the media at the opening of the 35th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean in Jamaica on Monday. And he said while Haiti remains the FAO's #1 concern as it relates to hunger, the region has a high rate of obesity.
That this region produces the best athletes and at the same time has such a high proportion of obese people. So this is a very, very serious concern. We need to discuss that. We will have a meeting with the Caribbean sub-region where we will address this issue. The question of poverty in the Caribbean, or the second topic, let me put it in terms of rural development in the Caribbean, the main concern seems to me to be in the area of jobs for youth. There's a huge demand in the Caribbean. There's a huge need to be able to promote and create more and better jobs for rural youth, men and women.
Berdegu says there is a large gap between the number of rural youth and the jobs that are available for them, a matter that he said will be addressed at the 4-day meeting. This meeting is expected to have the highest attendance in 3 years, and Berdegu believes it's because governments are now recognizing the FAO's work in the region as well as the gravity of the health issues facing the region at this time.
For the first time in 2 decades, we are going back in the number of hungry people, and we're going back in the number of people in extreme poverty in rural areas. So something is not working, and I think that the governments are concerned. So this is an opportunity for the countries, for the member countries, to discuss what is happening. Why are we sliding back? What can we do? What are other countries doing that might work in their own conditions?
Bourdieu does not believe the problem of hunger and malnutrition will be resolved at the meeting, but the FAO executive is hoping that the 250-member-strong delegates give the organization a clearer mandate to help the region.
We're asking the ministers, we're asking the member countries to give us a sharper agenda with perhaps fewer issues, but where we can concentrate our resources and capacities and with them try to make a difference. We need to revert these numbers. We have done it before. We have done it before. You know, we did very well in the past 20 years in terms of reducing hunger, in terms of reducing malnutrition in the region and in most countries individually. So we can do it again. We just need to know why is this happening, why this slide, and what are the steps that we need to take to come back on track.
A new HIV prevention pill is now available in the Bahamas, and local officials have added a little blue pill called PrEP to its medical arsenal to help those considered most at risk of contracting the virus. Director of the National HIV/AIDS and Infectious Diseases Program, Dr. Nikai Forbes, explains what the new pill is and how it works.
PrEP is essentially HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis. So this is a medication, it's 2 medications that are taken in combination, and it's designed for persons who are most at risk for HIV infection. And if it's taken correctly, daily, with no doses missed, it can substantially reduce the risk of persons acquiring HIV infection. But I really must emphasize, it's not a magic bullet, it's not a smoking bullet. It's designed to be taken as a part of a combination approach to HIV prevention.
Dr. Forbes suggests it's a clever way of reducing the chance of someone getting an HIV infection. The aim globally is to reduce the number of HIV infections and end AIDS by 2030. Statistics show that globally 36.7 million people are living with HIV, with 1.8 million new infections. In the Caribbean, that's 310,000 adults and children living with HIV. In the Bahamas, 8,600 people are said to be living with HIV. Dr. Forbes notes that with intervention methods being most effective, that's the approach local physicians take when prescribing the pill. She also speaks to its benefits.
So all of this work we're doing, including offering PrEP, is part of a combination approach, and we are seeing a benefit in what we're doing. We're seeing HIV infections go down.
PrEP, like other drugs, allow physicians to educate members of the public and physicians in training about the drug, its benefits, and management. Dr. Forbes also spoke to other positive sides to taking the medication correctly.
So there has been shown a proven benefit if patients can take it, or if persons at risk can take it daily and become adherent to it, so-called adherent to it, it can reduce the risk of acquiring a new HIV infection by more than 90%. But when we...
And that report is from ZNS Network News. Ahead in Newsline Sport, an American-bred horse wins the Eastern Caribbean's most prestigious race. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Come and experience fun, meet amazing people, and enjoy fantastic food at the 22nd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 5 days of festivities from June 27th to July 1st of 2018, with main stage performances from the 28th to the 30th. Here's the first wave of confirmed acts. The legendary Patti LaBelle, Queen of Dancehall, Spice, Miss Lauryn Hill. Many more acts to be announced. Book now and save the date. For more information, log on to stkidsmusicfestival.net. The St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Don't miss this episode of Caribbean Passport as we take a closer look at the tourism sector. Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago are re-energizing their markets. We also get an insight from one of the most respected authorities in Caribbean tourism, the Honorable Alan Chastanet. All this and more coming up on this channel.
As far as R&B and pop is concerned, oh my God. So the transition that was from back in the days, we'll just leave it at that, in comparison to now, R&B has gotten quite a transformation, would you say?
Yeah, with all this little mumbling stuff stuff, but we just bringing it back, man.
We
to
staying
that good
true
old,
to the real R&B.
Yeah, that good lyrics, you know, sweet melodies, and
American-bred Sir Dudley Diggs justified the hunches of owners Ken and Sarah Ramsey, as well as star local jockey Jalen Samuels, to land the $100,000 Barbados Gold Cup on Saturday at the Garrison Savannah. Sir Dudley, the winner of last year's Queen's Plate at Canada's premier racing oval Woodbine, slammed a field of 7 other contenders, including two-time defending champion and local favourite Dorset, to claim the most prestigious race in the Eastern Caribbean.
Racing, the 2018 edition of the Sandy Lane Gold Cup is on its way. And Infrared pops away smartly and goes up and takes the lead from Shining Copper. These two have opened up a good advantage already with a mile to go. It is Infrared in front by 3 from Shining Copper. Just a Fashion is on the outside third. Campaigner's Gold is going to be caught a little while, as is Marcus Antonius. Down the inside is Sir Dudley Diggs. Warren Grant also scrapes the paint on the rail, and the last one is the defending champ Dorset. The Thunder Passer stands the first time, and it's Infrared and Rashid Hughes in front by 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Campaigner's Gold in the blue silks goes second. Shining Copper is under a stronghold on the inside, third, saving ground. Just the Fashion is fourth. Along the inside, the long shot, Warren Grant and Lester Edwards goes next. The Dudley Diggs sits towards her outside. Marcus Antonius has one beaten, and that's a late running Dorset under Darrell Holland. The opening quarter was 25-1. The half in 50-2. They're round the far turn to head up the hill back towards their departure point. And it is still Infrared, yet to see a rival, in front by a length and a half. From on the outside, there is Campaigner's Gold. On the inside, Shining Copper, distress singles going out as they go past the departure point. Infrared is the one they'll have to catch. On the outside, here comes with a grand around Campaigner's Gold running stoutly. Shining Copper is coming with a new real effort. So Dudley Diggs has 4 to fight. Dorset and the others will have a lot more to do. Inside the quarter pole, there comes 6 and 114-3. And there are no more turns in the Gold Cup. And it's Infrared in front. On the outside here, Shining Copper. So Dudley Diggs is thundering down the middle of the course. Infrared is hanging tough. Shining Copper is trying desperately. Sir Dudley Diggs on the right hand drive. It's Sir Dudley Diggs.
To cricket now, West Indies women captain Stephanie Taylor missed out on a 6th one-day international 100 as the regional women narrowly went down by a single run to New Zealand women in the opening one-day international on Sunday. The White Ferns had earlier piled up 278 for 9 of their 50 overs, with veteran Sophie Devine striking 108, her 3rd one-day century, and opening partner and captain Susie Bates getting 44. Off spinner Taylor and leg spinner Affie Fletcher claimed 3 wickets apiece, while off-spinner Hayley Matthews supported with 2 for 68. In reply, West Indies on 277 for 9 off their 50 overs, with Taylor carving out a top score of 90 off 93 balls. The Caribbean side required 11 runs from the last over, with Kishona Knight and tail-ender Tremaine Smart at the crease, but only managed to eke out 9 after losing Smart and failing to get the 4 runs required for victory of the final delivery. Kishona Knight chipped in with a busy 44 off 31 deliveries, while twin sister Kesia Knight struck a patient 38 at the top order and Chidian Nation 29. Meanwhile, the senior men's squad is gearing up to face United Arab Emirates in the qualifiers for the ICC World Cup on Tuesday. Afghanistan and Ireland missed out on automatic qualification for the World Cup by finishing outside the top 8 on the ICC one-day international team rankings at the cutoff date on September 30 last year. West Indies batting had suffered in their 2 warm-up matches, sensationally losing to Afghanistan before rebounding to narrowly beat the UAE and escape embarrassment. But speaking ahead of the first match of the qualifiers, Captain Jason Holder expects conditions will be quite favourable for the batsmen.
It should be a really good contest. Yeah, I guess we played against them a few days ago, so we had a good look at the opposition and what they bring. You know, hopefully tomorrow the conditions are a lot better than they were in the warm-up game. I think from all reports from the last game, well, the game played here yesterday with Netherlands and Ireland, you know, it seems to be a really good wicket where the ball comes on and you know, you can get pretty good scores on it, you know, so hopefully our batsmen can capitalise on the conditions tomorrow and, you know, basically stamp their authority and get us to a really good total.
The regional men are favourites to come out on top in the qualifiers, but Holder expects a stern test from the African side.
You know, we've had a few discussions over the last couple of weeks, you know, where we try to share as much information as possible. I think everyone has probably played here in Zimbabwe, whether it be in Test cricket or one-day cricket. So it's a situation where everybody's got an idea of how to play. So it's just about us coming tomorrow and executing. You know, we've got to be cognizant of the fact that these teams are going to come really hard at us. You know, they've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So we've got to understand that, and we've got to be disciplined. You know, I think we could probably adopt the same mentality in terms of, you know, not putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure. We've just got to go out there and play the cricket necessary to win.
Bermuda ensured they will join the Cayman Islands in advancing to next year's regional qualifiers after completing the double over Argentina with a 70-run victory in Game 5 of the ICC World T20 Americas Sub-Regional Qualifier Tri-Series on Friday. The Caribbean side, which beat the host by 124 runs in their first game, compiled 139 for 5 on Friday and then restricted Argentina to 69 for 9 on a new wicket, which played very slow. Bermuda, which made 3 changes to the team that lost to Cayman Islands on Wednesday, owned their total to useful contributions from 4 batsmen. Terrain Frey made 40 from 37 balls, Tamiko 34 not out from 28, Dion Stovell 31 from 29 and Camu Leverock 25 from 11. Stovell was named man of the match after he and Kwesi James picked up 2 wickets apiece in Argentina's reply. Bermuda can win the tournament by virtue of a superior net run rate if they avenge an earlier 62-run defeat against the Cayman Islands and beat them in Saturday's final game at the Hurlingham Club ground. Jamaican Kimberly Williams and Trinidadian and Tobago's Dion Lindor increased to 3 the English-speaking Caribbean's medal tally at the IAAF World Indoor Championships on Birmingham on Saturday. Williams, the bronze medalist in the previous championships in support, led the women's triple jump with a lifetime best mark of 14.48 meters until Yulimar Roja of Venezuela produced a mark of 14.63 meters with a 5th round effort to land the gold medal. Williams took the silver. Meantime, Lindor benefited from the disqualification of Spain's Oscar and Luigi Santos of the Dominican Republic for lane violations to clinch the bronze. He crossed the finish line in 46.37 seconds, edging out Aldrich Bailey Jr. of the United States, who finished in 46.44 seconds. The medal followed Jamaica Danielle Thomas Dodd's historic throw in the women's shot put the previous day that earned her a silver medal. And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Now you're campaigning for judge right now, and that's a major step in another direction from acting as a private lawyer, where you are going to be, if you're elected, and we certainly hope you are, you're going to be in charge of listening to a lot of cases with a lot of people's problems. What made you decide to take that leap?
I have done litigation work for at least 30 years.
Yeah.
Again, the major developments of this day: Antigua and Barbuda's main opposition launches its election campaign with big promises for government workers and other residents. And in sport, American bred Husks Dudley Diggs wins the prestigious $100,000 Barbados Gold Cup. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to CondaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.